So I released a video talking about the bad path we were going down with FC26, and it was all too familiar, right? To the point where myself and Minnie started looking for other football games, or we're just already planning to retire from FC26 and really the franchise because they're on their last strings with the player base, right? And next thing you know, the gameplay is amazing. Next thing you know, right, you change one setting, which if you didn't see my video, make sure you check it out. Once you do animation start for the pass lock, it just changes everything, right? It's just that much more of a quick response. It really does help when there's any amount of delay, which there's just been much less, allowing you to make quick reactions like you've seen here. Now, you're still going to get your bad gameplay from time to time, just like with any game. And I would say even more so than most games, right? Because it is still the EA Sports service. But without a doubt, they did something, right? I mean, I went from not having good gameplay for entire champs weekends and rivals and the whole nine to back to back to back to back to back, just great games. And then maybe here and there a game that's just a little less than perfect, but still playable. Like where a few weeks ago I would have been happy with even the worst play that I'm getting now, gameplay that I'm getting now. Why is that the case? Who knows? EA Sports, if they did something, which I almost guarantee they did, they didn't talk about it, right? They never talk about the servers, probably because they can't give us the answers that we want, and they know that, right? So they don't want to chase people away because there's no doubt this is probably a band-aid, but whatever they did, it's working for now. So we will see how it goes. But another thing that I mentioned that I'm excited to start is my evolutions to glory. Now, the reason why I'm going down this route is because I feel like the game can get too monotonous at times. I feel like there's a ton going on in the menus and it puts the football on the back burner, and I don't like that. The football should be at the forefront. So with this better gameplay and with the focus on building my own players, which adds a different flair, unique feel to your team, right? I believe we are going to have a blast on this channel with the content, with creating beautiful football, utilizing our own footballers where we're not worried about all the menu nonsense because we don't have to, right? We see the evolutions that come. We create our own evolutions chains, and you'll see kind of where I've done that already. Not even going for like the popular evolutions necessarily in some instances because it's the no-brainer choice. But in others, I got some beasts that most players don't have. So, you see here, we are currently in the process of completing Malin on the left side, and then Jean-Francis as a partner to Hasegawa. Now, as you see on the bench, I already have Ramirez, who is an absolute beast of a defensive midfielder. And it's the same for many other positions, right? At left back, I have Bonpastor, but I also have a pretty good Ferland Mendy evolution. Striker, I have Gio right now, and Agumang is an excellent pickup from the Season 1 Team Pass. She could easily be a starting striker. I think Gio just edges her out. So as you do these evolutions, if you've also done SBCs or continue to do them, to kind of have place fillers as as these evolution chains become available, because you got to realize not any of these are just one evolution. Some of them you're doing evolutions knowing that it might be 1, 2, 3, or 4 until you can get these players into your starting squad. Malin, he's going with just this is his first evolution, and he's getting right out there. He feels great. He fits the current meta, fits my play style. And then, of course, I packed Hansen. So Hansen's out there, but there has been some evolutions where I could have tried to replace her. It's just no point as of yet, right? Eventually, more evolutions will come, and the whole entire team will be full of evolved players. So that unique feel to the team, it just adds another element to the game that makes it more fun. It breaks up, the monotony that same players for every single team. Everybody has Claudia. Everybody, like Van Dijk used to be the center back everyone has. Now there's a special Van Dijk if people can afford him. With Bruiser being buffed, you're going to see him everywhere. And you always see this same routine of the players that everybody wants to go after. So we're breaking away from that, and we are also breaking away from the meta tactics that everybody copies and pastes and that you see game after game after game. Now, formation-wise, we're still going to be either in the 4-2-3-1 or 4-2-1-3. And I get it. You're like, wait, that's the meta, dude. We see that every game. But it's that way we are going to line up in those formations and the settings that we use that will drive our player movement. That's what is going to be unique. So let's get into it. First of all, this can work in either the 4-2-1-3 or the 4-2-3-1 wide. For keepers and center backs, the same thing, right? Whatever keeper role you like to use, or your keeper has a plus or plus in, use that. Defenders, center backs in particular, are always defender, defend. Then wing backs are where things change. People typically go with fullback and balance or fullback versatile. We are going with wing back and support on both sides, left back and right back. Now you can go attacking wing back, but that will get a little too risky in my opinion. If you want to go all out attack though, go attacking wing back and support. Now, the inverted wing back as well as the false back can work too if you want those wing backs more central as passing options when you have the ball. I like them providing width, and then when my attackers move in, be it the wingers or wing mids, whether it's 4-2-1-3 or 4-2-3-1 wide, either way they're inside forward attack. So they're both going to be driving inwards towards the cam and strikers to connect with tighter passes, more tiki-taka, give and go, up, back, and through type of passes from closer quarters, right? Cam's always on shadow striker, strikers always is on advanced forward. Then our other change, going back to the defensive midfield spot, both on deep lying playmaker build up. Now, you can also go with one box crasher. If you wanted to go all out, go two box crashers. And then there's a variation with this too. You could go one holding defensive mid and one either box crasher or deep lying playmaker. And then for the wing backs, maybe on the holding defensive mid side, since you know there will be a player there that could cover for them, you go attacking wing back. Or if you want to get a little more defensive, maybe you do a deep line playmaker or box crasher, and on that side you do a fullback. So you know you have coverage there, and maybe even that wing back can fullback can come inside to the middle if that central defensive midfielder gets caught up. Really, there's a lot of variety that you can do from these setups. But as you know, typically speaking, it's always fullback, balanced, or fullback versatile, defender defend, defensive mids are either one holding, one deep lying, or two holding if you want to kind of park the bus, create a wall in front of your goal. Then you have inside forwards, you have playmaker, shadow striker for cam, and then advanced forward. So I know it's not the most changes, right? I wish there was more, as far as a unique approach that we could take, but you still have to make sense of your attack, and based on how the game plays, this is pretty much as unique as you're going to get while still being able to formulate great football and good movement, right? Because unfortunately that's one of the things that EA Sports did improve on, from previous years and even with this last patch, right? The AI movement is just a tiny bit better, but it's still not good enough to create the ability for us to use any tactical setup we want and still be successful, right? You still do somewhat have to stick to what works. Now, hopefully one day that changes and the movement is less restrictive, and basically your knowledge and ability to play in whatever setup you want will determine how well you do, as opposed to having to stick to the meta because of the restrictive nature of the movement and just how the game works, right? That's where it's unrealistic. But we are at least back in action in a game that was looking like it was once again going to spiral out of control, similar to FC25. So we know things can change for the worse at any given time, especially with EA Sports running things, but here's to wishful thinking. Like I said last video, here's to hoping for consistently good gameplay and the ability to just play some good football. That's all I'm looking for. That's all many of you, especially if you follow this channel, that's what you're looking for. So if this video was helpful, smash that like button. Make sure if you haven't, you subscribe, and check out my YouTube bio for more ways to support the channel, including joining my Discord. We have a great community and we'd love to have you. So I will see you next time. Peace out.